I was playing for the New Orleans Saints in 1980. We were in the middle of losing 15 straight games that year. We had been rebranded against our will as the Aints. And I arrived at the Superdome to prepare for the game when I saw the first ever recorded fan with a bag on their head. So we played the game that day. We lost. I got up and read the paper the next day, and the news was about the fan. I remember thinking, wait, fans are supposed to read the news. They're not supposed to make the news. But this phenomenon quickly went to certainly other of our Saints fans and spread even to other mediocre to bad NFL teams and actually carried forward to this day. This is today's New York Post on the Jets. So this concept of fans and moving from mere recipients of the news to something more has really continued, and in fact, with the mobile phenomenon, has really gone to fans who are now recording the news, reporting the news. And that's what I want to talk about today, is the role of the fan in reporting news, electronic news generation. And I'd like to use Hurricane Sandy as a way to look at the dichotomy between existing media and crowdsourced media. So here is the iconic Jim Cantore. He has a camera, he has a truck, and he goes out and tries to find news, and sometimes he does, but sometimes he fails. This guy behind him is laughing, "Hey, Jim, how you doing?" So that's contrasted with crowdsourced videos, thousands of them, high quality, in smartphones that sourced major stories like water in subways and submerged taxi cab, all the way to nuanced nooks and cranny stories like trees that have fallen over in neighborhoods. And so it's come a long way, but it's got a ways to go, as Michael Moore describes.
But it was still 2 or 3 hours after it happened. So, but my point is, can you imagine if 110 homes were burning right now in Los Angeles? That'd be another 3 hours before we heard about it. You're going to take it home 6 of everything.
And that's the way we roll, is that 3 hours, that's so 3 hours, that's too long ago. So we need to really do better. And so is there a technology out there that can do that? What he's saying in these comments and others is basically you need 3 things. You need authentication. You need to show that people are actually at the event and not photoshopping different perspectives and then sending them into the news, ranging from the near perfect to the banal. You want to be able to have multiple perspectives of the news at the same time. This increases the validity and the quality. And you'd also have to deal with the fact that as smartphones become more and more used, you'll have 10,000 videos that are being sent in, and how do you deal with that? Is there a technology out there that can do that? Well, there is. And it's actually built on an ancient mathematical principle called triangulation. Now, triangulation is the concept that if 2 points, the location of 2 points and their lines of sight are known, the location of a 3rd point can be calculated. Now, this was developed by the Greeks, and so they put sentries along the coastline, and they would spot the distances of ships. You can use the same principle, which we've done in work I'm going to describe here, to lever GPS for location, line of sight with compass in smartphones, to allow a group of individuals to identify and tag and curate an object of common interest, a news event, by the focus. So not the location of where the people are, but what they're looking at. And this can be done for any number of 2 to n, infinite number. We call these overlapping lines of sight a cluster. So I'm going to talk about how we've used clusters out in environments. This would be entertainment, news, and sports. So here's an example of Sonoma Raceway, and we're forming a cluster using the smartphone technology to identify and tag objects moving 150 miles an hour. And then here is that same venue, which was Sonoma Raceway. We did a connected TV event where we actually crowdsourced photos of the event itself and then pipe them to a broadcast so viewers at home could see that. So here's the movie of people through an app. They were getting situated and they're moving around, and all of a sudden their common interest strikes something actually away from the track. And that cluster was actually the jets flying over for the national anthem. So it illustrates the 3 points. You had to be in the cluster to provide the photo. So authentication. It had multiple views. These pictures came pop, pop, pop onto a dashboard. And the third is curation. These went automatically, so no human hands touched this before the viewers at home saw them. Now we know there has to be something in it for the viewer, so we've developed an augmented reality interface that allows one to pan and identify clusters that have been validated by others. Here on the right, you can see there's a fender bender. You can pan, identify the cluster, and then actually tap into the pictures and videos that other people have previously put, and then that goes automatically to a news broadcast. So what's next for us? Well, you don't need a smartphone. You can have glasses. Touch the glasses. It gives you a line of sight. Take a picture and form a cluster. And so we have a project that's doing that internally now. And lastly, as if that weren't enough, you actually don't need an app at all to do this. Any picture inherently has GPS and heading in it. So we've taken 10,000 iPhone photographs of a Giants game, curated those, and generated clusters in about 3 seconds' time using our algorithms. So that's the news, folks, and I'm out of here.